Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of our track guide by IRC. Today we are at the very beautiful circuit of Bahrain, which just looks phenomenal under those lights in the night condition. Today me, No More Pro Player, will be guiding you on how to tackle this circuit, which lines to take and which gears to take in each corner in a race, so that you can try getting that close to that those consistent times in a race pace. Setup wise, I will be going through the setup towards the end of the video, but right now I will be demonstrating you guys the race pace on a soft tire, because for a 50% lap I would prefer to go out on a soft, but many people do prefer a medium start as well. It's up to personal preference, but I will be using a soft tire. And regarding the fuel load, I am carrying 31 laps of fuel, because I generally tend to carry plus 2 laps of fuel compared to the race, and 50% race on this track is around 29 laps. So 31 laps is a quite good amount. Many people like to underfuel their car because they can manage their fuel, but me, I generally take plus 2 laps compared to what the actual race is gonna be. Coming to the format of this track guide, I will be showing two laps. First lap will be a very slow lap in which I will be talking about the different lines that you can take and to get those more consistent times. And the second lap will be more about on the gears, which gear you can take which corner in. It will be followed by a hot lap by me on this track, and then it will be a setup video in which I will just show and explain briefly why I chose to do which setup. And without further delay, let's just dive into the slow part of the the line part of the video. So coming up to the first corner, you would be braking really hard, and you would look to dive down on the inside. Try avoiding the inside curve, because that will unsettle your car a lot. And as soon as you exit out, you have to already set up your car to mount this curve fully. And even you have to think how you can make the car straight as soon as possible, so that it will help you get on the throttle that early. So taking the exit curve and then another exit curve, make sure that your car is really straight. Approaching this next curve, you will be on the curve on the entry on the outside. Try diving on the inside, touching the inside curve a bit, and here on the exit you will be aiming to touch this outside curb, because if you go really wide it might unsettle your car, and if you turn in very early it might send you out for a spin like Vettel in 2019. Coming to this part of the circuit, you would like to be on the outside, dive down the inside, touch this curb part, and you will be really almost on full throttle when you are going through this section. So it's very crucial to take it perfectly. Just touch this curb. Taking a lot of this curb will unsettle your car, and do try to drift wide on this curb, but not too wide, otherwise again your car will just bounce up in the air. But you need to utilize the maximum of the track. Coming to this sharp hairpin, you will be on the outside curb. Dive on the inside, touch the inside curb just slightly, and then again touch the outside curb on the exit, trying to maximize the track for like to the maximum. This next part of the circuit is really tricky, but I tend to take this line. I will be really wide, and then I will have my car straight so that I can brake easily, because braking while turning is really difficult, while braking on straight is easy. I will try to stay on the tarmac. Just try to stay on the tarmac, sharp turn left, and avoid the outside curb as much as possible. This will help you get a very good exit for this long straight. For the coming next corner, try to keep your car half on the outside, half on the tarmac. Dive on the inside, touch the inside curb, and again drift wide. Try to avoid the outside curb, and even try to go wide there, because you need to set your car for this next section. This next curve is also known as curve of death. If you touch it, it will send you out on a spin. But if you don't take it properly, like if you be very cautious and stay away from it, you will lose a lot of time. And now, being set up for the next part, just stay on the outside curve, brake hard, just touch the inside curve. No need to mount it totally, but a little bit of mounting and drift as wide as possible here. Keep your half car in on the tarmac and half inside, and then do not try to drift wide there because it might give you a track invalidation. Coming to the last corner, again you have to try to keep your car half wide and half on the track, then brake as hard as possible, touch the inside curb, go to the outside, try stay on the tarmac as much as possible, so that you don't get a lot of wheel spin, and that will be the end of the slow lap. Now following on with the fast lap, in which I will be on the normal race pace, brake really hard and go to third gear. Do not go to second so that you don't have a lot of wheel spin. Mount that curb, immediately short shift to fourth, and you can see how the car became straight, so I could quickly climb through the gears. Coming for the next turn, I will shift down to third, then immediately short shift to fourth and apply as much, get on the throttle as early as possible. Downshift one, brake a little, touch the inside here, full throttle here, maybe not go that wide there, and here again downshift to third, slowly go on the throttle, shift to fourth, climb through the gear, stay as wide as possible, downshift to third again, and again slowly get on the power, immediately go to fourth, and immediately start climbing through the gears as you head down the back straight. Coming to this corner, again shift down to fifth, try drifting wide, shift to sixth, stay on sixth while you are go to seventh while you are on the curb of death. Then again downshift two gears to fifth. On the exit of that corner, you can be on sixth, and as you head down another straight, you will be trying to keep half of the car outside and then shift to fourth, and then slowly get on the power again, climb up the gears, and then you will be crossing the line. I was able to do a 133, but since I was talking and driving, it's really difficult to do a proper lap, but you can easily get in the 129s if you concentrate really hard. Average race pace will be around 129, and that will be about on the race pace of the. Now let's over to Hotlap. Coming to the setup, I will give a brief description of what I am running, and but then again it comes to personal preference. Every driver is different, they like to drive differently. For me, I generally prefer a 3/7 wing. You need that extra rear wing for the second sector, that specific section where you are almost on throttle and you are turning your car. Front wing is 3 because I generally tend to like a higher oversteery setup. Coming to the diff, most people prefer 50% diff, but I generally like to drive a car with a much higher diff. So for me it's 65-55. For suspension geometry, I like keeping default for all tracks. So for all tracks, for me it is right, left, without touching a lot of things. Suspension, again, we are seeing a trend in this game that generally you tend to keep the front suspension as low as possible and rear as high as possible. In certain tracks you keep it 9, but in this I have kept it 6. Roll bars are 3-8, and again ride height is 1-4, because you are not riding a lot of curves which are very high. Most of the curves are just moderate height, uh, and the lower you keep your car, the more top speed you can expect.
We're top of the speed trap,
Coming to
317.7
coming
kilometers
to
per
the
hour.
brake pressure and the brake bias, uh, it's up to you what you want to keep your brake pressure and brake bias. I tend to keep 100% brake, because in this game, even with 100% brake pressure, you do not tend to lock up, so you can still run 100% brake pressure. Front brake bias is 50. Generally you can keep 52, 53 also. It depends on how you drive. Tire pressures are all to the minimum, because as we have seen in this game, the least tire pressure gives you the least wear. But if you are getting a lot of wear, then you can try increasing your tire pressures by a click or two. It's all up to trial, and you guys can, and every driver has to sit and decide on what they like in their setup. With that, thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you next week when we bring our track guide for Hanoi circuit, which is a very new circuit added in F1 2020. Bye bye.